A beggar lived at a city's train station. He survived by begging from passengers on the trains that came and went. One day, while he was begging, he noticed a tall man in a suit. He thought this man looked very wealthy, and if he asked him for money, he would surely get a good amount. So he approached the tall man and started begging. Seeing the beggar, the tall man said, "Do you only take? Do you ever give anything to anyone?" The beggar replied, "Sir, I'm a beggar. I'm always asking people for money. How could I possibly have the ability to give anything to anyone?" The tall man said, "When you can't give anything to anyone, you have no right to ask either. I'm a businessman, and I believe in exchange. Only if you have something to give me can I give you something in return." After saying this, the tall man boarded the train and left. Meanwhile, the beggar began thinking about what the man had said. The tall man's words stuck with him. He started thinking that maybe he wasn't getting much money from begging because he couldn't give anything in return. "But I'm a beggar. I don't have anything to give. But how long can I keep just asking without giving anything back?" After much thought, the beggar decided that whoever gave him money, he would definitely give them something in return. He spent 2 days thinking about this, but couldn't find an answer. On the third day, while he was sitting near the station, his eyes fell on some flowers blooming on plants near the tracks. He thought, "Why don't I give people some flowers in exchange for their money?" He liked this idea and picked some flowers. Now he went to the train to beg. Whenever someone gave him money, he would give that person some flowers in return. People happily accepted the flowers and kept them. Now the beggar picked flowers every day and distributed them among people in exchange for money. Within a few days, he noticed that many more people were giving him money. This became his daily routine. One day, while he was begging, he saw that same tall man sitting on the train, the one who had inspired him. He immediately went up to him. "Today, I have some flowers to give you. If you give me money, I'll give you some flowers in return." The tall man gave him some money, and the beggar gave him some flowers. The tall man really liked it. He said, "Wow, amazing! Today you've become a businessman like me." After saying this and taking the flowers, the tall man got off the train at his station. But the tall man's words stuck in the beggar's mind once again. He became very happy. His eyes started sparkling. He felt like he now had the key to success that could change his life. He immediately got off the train and, filled with excitement, looked up at the sky and shouted loudly, "I'm not a beggar. I'm a businessman. I can become wealthy too." People who saw him thought that perhaps this beggar had gone crazy, and from the next day on, that beggar was never seen at that station again. 6 months later, at this same station, 2 men in suits were traveling. When they saw each other, one of them shook hands with the other and said, "Do you recognize me?" The second man said, "No, because as far as I know, we're meeting for the first time." "No, think about it. We're not meeting for the first time, but for the third time. We met twice before on this very train. I'm that beggar you told what I should do with my life during our first meeting. And in our second meeting, you told me who I really was." "Oh, I remember. You were that beggar I once refused to give money to. But today, where are you going in this suit? And what are you doing these days?" "Yes, I'm that beggar. But today, I'm a major flower businessman. In our first meeting, you told me about nature's law that we only receive when we give. This law of exchange really works. I understood why people were giving me so much money, because they weren't giving me charity. They were paying for the flowers." Both businessmen were happy now and got off together when the station arrived, discussing their respective businesses as they walked ahead. The lesson: success is hidden in your thinking. Awaken your self-respect, expand your thinking, and see how you reach the peak of success.
I hope this story inspired you as much as it inspired me. If it did, show some love with a like, subscribe for more content like this, and drop a comment sharing what you learned. Share this with someone who needs motivation today. Thank you for watching.